We've got an exciting night tonight here at Big Brother. The veto competition. How many are we going to play? Who knows? How many players are we going to have? We'll find out. But what we do have is a gardener in the house. Kelley, she's a lawn service. And Jimmy's oversized ego is about to get mowed down. I'm Lauren from Remote Reality, and this is Mama C. And here is our coverage of Big Brother Season 27, Episode 6, the second veto competition.
Remote reality, yeah, that's the key. Unlocking stories wild and free. With the host, side by side. Channel surfers, let's ride.
So one thing I noticed this week that I did not notice before is that this is the regular Big Brother theme song, but it has like a mystery twist.
Yeah, I was just sitting there watching it, and I wasn't even paying attention until you mentioned it, and I was, oh yeah.
Oh, it is. Yeah, it has like these little, I don't know, transitions that are mystery sounding. But at the end of last week, we had Jimmy as HOH. He is going after Keanu as the target, and Kelley and Adrian are up on the block as pawns. So we saw last week Keanu was snoring when Jimmy was giving his speech. Jimmy says, "We're up for the veto, diva." Now, Kelley, she doesn't understand why Jimmy is over the top and dramatic every time she's nominated. I don't think it's every time you're nominated. Yes, you have been nominated the first 2 weeks in a row, but I promise you, if we get to a week and Jimmy's still here and you are not nominated, he's going to be just as dramatic. Have you seen his outfit?
Well, and also, he's doing this towards Keanu both times, the drama. So he'll find a new target if Keanu goes. Yeah.
But he has flair. He has drama. He is dressed head to toe in black. He has a black robe on, black short shorts, a black shirt, black sunglasses, black gloves. He is the king of death, ready to take, Keanu out, or whoever he gets out this week. Now, Adrian, he knows he's the target. He did not agree to be the target. He is not happy with Jimmy. Everyone's hugging him, telling him he's fine, but we always know in Big Brother, that's not always a guarantee. But he goes and cries to himself in the gym, and he's talking to his mom, who's, I guess, watching the live feed and saying, "Don't worry, Mama, I'm going to win for you," because his mom works really hard, and he just wants to make things easier. Kind of reminds me of Jordan from season 11. She said she wanted to buy her mama a house, and then she won the game. So maybe that's a sign. So Rachel is looking for Nutmeg in the kitchen. What did you think about this little encounter with Keanu? He lies right to her face. He says,
twice.
I did not.
He told
twice.
2 lies. Yes. He said,
what do you think?
Well, I think it is stupid because he's going to have to tell everybody he won the veto if he uses the veto in the competition. So she's going to know right off the bat.
She already knows, though. She goes, I know he's lying to my face. I know that he voted to get Amy out of the house, and I don't trust that he didn't win one of these powers. Remember, Jimmy has a pretty good handle on who has won the powers, and Jimmy and Rachel, I think they could be pretty powerful allies. I worry that Jimmy creates a big target on his back, but then again, he's a strong player. Strong players can create big targets on their back if they can save themselves, if they have a good alliance too. So who knows? It's early. Any other thoughts on Adrian lying straight to Rachel's face?
You mean Keanu?
I mean Keanu.
Oh, okay, I was like,
it's a Monday, it's Wednesday. I mean, she said he lied straight to my face. They were having a stare off. So they have encapsulated that moment. Once the lie comes out, she's going to be like, you stared straight into my eyes and told me this.
Yeah. I mean, he's going to get his comeuppance from her for sure. But, I love the fact that the lawn service people are going to be coming in too for Jimmy. Kelley is the lawnmower, and Jimmy's ass is grass. I thought that was funny.
Cut the grass.
And then the next thing you know, they're talking about Jimmy being a snake. Well, he's a snake in the grass, so.
Grass is too high. Time to cut it down.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be in the game long.
I wouldn't think so because of how strong of a player he is, because he's so in your face. But then again, think about those players where you don't worry about them because they have such a big target on the back that someone else is going to get them out the next week. And he does have Rachel on his side right now. But I think Rachel, she might take whatever side fits her and Amy and possibly Ashley the best. Isn't it interesting how nobody is even saying the word Ashley this week?
Yeah, Ashley. I mean, there's a lot of people
Ashley
that
who?
you were. Yeah, it was like, where's Catherine? Where's Lauren? I mean, there's a lot of people that are just still laying low.
Just laying low. Now, one part I thought was really cute was Ava working out in the gym.
Oh my gosh, that was hilarious.
She has her own unique style. She's like, I'm just lifting weights. She's like, I'm not a gym person, quote unquote. And I thought it was so cute. Morgan's like, well, I've never seen that before, but if it works for her, it works for her.
I also love her facial expressions.
Yes.
Like, you're so stupid, or what in the world are you thinking of?
Well, like when Rachel and Keanu were talking about the nutmeg and Keanu leaves, Ava was standing there in the fridge and she just kind of makes this face like, ooh, what did I just hear? So now Keanu tells Vince about his secret power. He tells him that he has a power that will double his chances at veto. I like that he didn't tell him the twist on it because I think Vince will be super surprised when he sees a secret player come in. But one thing I didn't like is he also told him that Kelley won a power. That wasn't yours to tell, Keanu. You got to keep those big fly chops shut.
Yeah. But even, it could show that him and Kelley are close and maybe Vince wouldn't know that. And now he's thinking about, Keanu and Kelley. I don't know. You just got to be careful.
Vince also seems to be floating. He's like, I'm just going to go wherever this river takes me right now.
Grab a life vest.
Floaters grab a life vest. With Rachel, you do not want to be floating this game.
No.
So, hot or not, Rachel's outfits. Are you Team Rachel or Team Jimmy?
Oh, I like Rachel's outfits. However, when she was on The Amazing Race years ago, her and Brendan were Team Green, and she wore these green, sparkly shorts the entire race, and everybody was making fun of her big, sparkly shorts. So I was looking for something with sparkles in it because that's Rachel.
I loved the green top that she was wearing that Jimmy was hating on. He said he hated that shirt, and I was thinking, oh, I love it. It was like a Kelley green with like maybe a gold mesh on top of it. And Rachel said she has actual stylists from actual fashion houses. The vintage shirt that Jimmy said was a la Goodwill. I thought that was very cute. My grandma didn't have that kind of stuff in her closet.
No, and I was glad to see that it was friendly banter. I wasn't sure. I thought like, oh my gosh, is she going to get mad? But she said
they're like kids chasing each other around the schoolyard. They're having fun with it. I loved when he said, your embarrassment matches your hair tone. So they're just having a good time. But when Jimmy really goes after someone, he really goes after someone. And Rachel doesn't want to be on that side.
The other thing I thought was funny, and you can use this for me, is he says you've got a buffering sign above your head. That's what I have. You need to put a buffering sign above my head all the time.
Don't worry, I can edit that out. So what did you think about Will disclosing that he's a veteran, his Army status as a veteran? I thought he was going to keep it under the wraps.
Well, I already thought he had already brought it out, so I just thought that he was expanding on his military service. So
I did like to hear his stories. I was surprised that Rachel said she had never talked to a veteran before.
Yeah, but I grew up in Norfolk, Virginia, and you're over in Charleston. I mean, we've got Air Force here, we've got Army here in this area. So
I have friends in the Army, friends in the Marines. One of my friends in law school, she's a JAG officer for the Army, but I just remember sitting in school and she's like, "Look, I won't have student loans." Lucky lady. But thank you for your service. Zach has a lot of respect for Will. So I think Zach and Will actually, maybe those are two of the Burger Boys that will stick together. The lettuce and the meat. Now, Lauren and Catherine, what do you think about this semi-alliance? I feel like Lauren feels like she might have maybe a final two. Catherine, I think she's pretty smart to say she wouldn't take Lauren to the end.
Yeah, Lauren again is showing that she may not feel secure with herself, or maybe she's very shy. At least that's the editing. I mean, when she was talking to Zach, last week, she was saying, I wanted to at least have one or two people that I could talk to. So I guess she's got her two people, Zach and Catherine.
I just feel like she's not trying to make herself a big target, unlike Keanu, who we'll get to in a minute. But they're both Southern girls. Lauren is from Alabama. Catherine is from Columbia, South Carolina. Catherine, she thinks that socially Lauren would beat her out in the end, but I think it depends on the route we take to get there, because if Catherine is bringing Lauren throughout this competition and Lauren is riding her coattails, she might be a good pick for the final two. There's really just a lot of game left to be played. I like their girl talk excuse to get people off their back. They said if someone comes up, they'll just pretend like they're talking about boys.
Oh.
That sounded like a smart strategy. So Veto Comp, Jimmy is about to start, and Keanu gets his own dramatic moment. He stands up and announces, I've got a mystery power and we're going to have a former house guest. And I'm sitting there going, who is it? Who is it? Who is it? I can't wait to see. We have to wait for the Veto Comp to see. We all have to wait. But he's going, I'm going to double my chances. What if he gets like a really horrible player though?
Well, I love the fact that Rachel was excited about it too, because she knows a lot of Big Brother players, not only from the seasons she's played, but I'm sure she knows them through the network of Big Brother.
Well, I wonder how much she would know the person they bring in, because obviously if they bring in someone she's been in an alliance with, or Brendan, her husband, then they might throw it because that's their girl in the house. So I'm thinking that they probably want less of a nexus between her and whoever it is that comes in.
Could it be Chicken George?
That would be amazing. That would be amazing. Chicken George, please. That would be the perfect one. And then you'd have Keanu sitting there telling Jimmy, I just doubled my chances, and he gets Chicken George. That would be awesome. But Jimmy said when Keanu stood up, I was hopeful he was going to just throw out the competition. He was just going to say, I'm done, and walk out of the house. Now, Ava got picked. She doesn't want to take Keanu off the block because Keanu, he told everybody he's after them, which is a play right out of Will Kirby's handbook. That's exactly what he did. He said, I'm going after all of you. And this is exactly what Keanu's doing. What I have been saying, the bigger the target, the more likely people are going to say, somebody will get him next week. So he's taking that play right out of Will's handbook, Dr. Will's handbook. Will it work for him? It's only week 2, maybe.
Look, Rachel's all excited about it because she's just sitting low while everybody is being targets.
But the reverse could work. They could say, well, now's the time to get Rachel out. Somebody will get Keanu out later.
Yep.
It's early. This move, I think, works better when it's earlier. And well, I don't know. It wasn't early in the game when Dr. Will used this move. It was about halfway through, I want to say. Well, all I know is when he called that power, I was very excited. Very excited to see who our mystery house guest is going to be. Yep. Cross your fingers for Chicken George. So in the kitchen, Kelley is talking to Vince about what she should do with her veto power. And he says it really just depends on what happens. But he doesn't seem to say save Keanu. He's like, if Keanu stays on the block, just save it for next week because he's the target.
You know what? She might need to have it next week or the week after if she keeps volunteering to put herself up.
Oh my gosh. Maybe that's her strategy. Make herself a big target voluntarily. Then you always have someone to put on the block. I noticed Ben's boxing, but I can't place that with anybody. Can you even think of a Ben that played Big Brother?
No. But, I didn't think anything of it until you said it. And, you really do have to look at everything in this house because it could be clues to things.
What could Ben be? I can't think of any Bens that have played Big Brother. So Adrian and Keanu are talking in the gym, and I thought this could be a good place for maybe Keanu to try to team up with Adrian. Adrian was trying to talk to him, but he just kind of blew him off.
Sorry.
Are you looking at Morty's?
No, I was looking up Ben's on Big Brother.
Ben's on Big Brother. Any thoughts about Keanu and Adrian's little chat in the gym? I was saying I thought it might be a good time for Adrian to try to garner favor with, Keanu to try to garner favor with Adrian, because Adrian was being very nice. He was like, oh, this mystery competitor is crazy. But Keanu just blows him off.
I don't know what's in Keanu's mind.
I guess he's really just going for that target strategy. Now Vince comes out. He said, it's time for the veto. Get dressed. Meet me in the backyard. So at first I see everything. I think it's a horse race. It looks like obstacles that you would have in an equestrian setting. And they come out. They're all dressed like potted plants.
Yeah, and the person that was the most excited about it was Riley.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes sense. He says, I could really, use that for hunting and be a great camouflage.
He said, if I had one dim, I could bag any buck that crossed my path.
Okay, that's what he said.
If I had one dim, one of them bush plant outfits. So we got a comp beast. Big Brother 20, Kaycee, winner of Big Brother 20, veto competition champion. Keanu is so excited. He says, oh, snap. Jimmy is really excited to see her, but then again, she's playing for Keanu. So it's a win-lose. I think it's a win-lose for a lot of them.
And I do believe he mentioned Kaycee when he found out he had the power.
Yes.
And I believe he had said, Kaycee could be.
I'm sure editing had a hand in that.
He probably said about 50 people.
Let's just pick one of the ones that we pick. Now, in this competition, they have to put their hands on buttons. And then we get another Big Brother legend, Felicia. I screamed when I heard Felicia. I was so excited. She's up there playing her games. She has to say a bunch of stuff, but when she says creeper, you let go of the buttons, you hop your little butt over to the other side and you press the button. Last one to press the buttons on the other side loses. Now, if you let go early, you get a false start. So she's really playing them. She's saying croissants, cricket, critter, crater, creek.
I tell you what, if I were in that competition, I would be false starting because I would have fallen asleep.
Oh, man. I would have false started because I would have thought I heard the word coming out. It was hard to tell. Now, first one out is Kelley. I was surprised that Kelley was first out. Next out was Ava, but it was pretty close. And then we have two false starts in a row. Jimmy and then Keanu, which when Keanu gets false started, Jimmy, his feelings aren't hurt about that. So we've got Kaycee and Adrian left, which I was thinking, oh my gosh, Adrian is such a Big Brother fan. He's practicing these competitions in his yard. Now, not dressing like a plant. He's doing the wall comp, but how fun would it be if he beat the veto champ? How fun would that be to be a super fan and to go in and beat Kaycee?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I thought that would make a difference because he didn't win.
Doesn't make a difference because he didn't. He's like, I lost by inches. It was a pretty obvious loss, even though Big Brother was like, oh, it's too close to go. No, it wasn't. Kaycee,
can I say one thing? I just want to say Jimmy's flowers were the prettiest, and he looked the prettiest in his purple flowers.
He did look very nice in his purple flowers.
I really like those purple flowers, so. Maybe Rachel was a little jealous.
Rachel. Yes, Jimmy looked beautiful in his purple flowers. I agree. Although I do think that Ava looked very cute in her orange flowers. Oh God, purple and orange. What am I doing?
Oh yeah. What are you
Okay,
thinking?
so that's like anyway.
That would be Clemson.
Yeah, which speaking of South Carolina, they show Kaycee season and the runner-up. That guy was from Hilton Head, which is just like a couple hours south from me. But anyway, I thought it was funny. When Adrian said, I'm going to make like a tree and win this veto.
I know.
Which reminded me of Back to the Future. Make
That's
like a tree and scram. Make like a tree and get the hell out of here. So yeah, Kaycee wins. Kaycee's like, I feel so good. I feel like I've been here before. She is glad that she's able to help Keanu out. Now she don't have to live in the house with him, but it's fun to go back on the show. It was fun to see Felicia. I liked that competition. That was cute. And they called it Caught Creeping. Later on, when we get to the end and they say, who won the second veto competition gone creeping? Answer, it was Kaycee. It wasn't even a house guest. Unless I mean, I guess it could be Kaycee or Keanu. But so now the question is, does Kelley use her second veto comp? We don't have this big target on the block anymore. We don't know who the replacement's going to be, but does she need to protect herself? I think it just depends on who that replacement is. I don't think she really has favor, though, with the people in charge of the house right now. So
I say piss off Jimmy and go ahead and use it. So then
but that's what Jimmy wants. He wants them to waste away their powers.
He does, but he doesn't want to put any more targets on his back with having to nominate more people.
And, Will and Mickey were talking to him before any of this started, saying, who are you going to put up? So, yeah, it's going to be tough. Yep. Well, we'll just have to see what happens. Well, at this point, we have Kelley and Adrian still up. We don't know what Kelley's going to do. But Jimmy is going to have to pick at least one replacement nominee. He's planning for up to 2. He talks to Rachel about this, which when he's talking to Rachel about this, he's not really asking her opinion. Same with when he talks to Mickey about this. He's just...
Right. And he brings up in the court, he brings up to both of them the people they're close to in the house. Oh. He brings up Amy to Rachel. Mm-hmm. And then he brings up Will to Amy, and they're close as well. So, and then, like you said, he's saying, well, I'm going to put him up for pawns, but
against
who's he
his pawns?
Against his pawn, Adrian. So,
Adrian and Kelley are his pawns, so he's going to put pawns against pawns? You know what? Amy said this is a weenie move. Jimmy is sitting there throwing targets on his back left and right. You got to embrace it. Don't sit here and take the weenie safe way out.
Look, even Mickey said, you know what? If it were her HOH, she'd be going after the big targets. Absolutely. Go after somebody you want gone. Why do you want to put up people that you're working with?
Is he working with everybody, though?
Well, I guess he thinks he is.
Who's left? Now, Mickey and Morgan had that triple threat alliance with Jimmy, but that may not be meant to last long because they don't like how he's playing this HOH. He is saying, we are going to do this, and he's not consulting with them about it. And that's why Mickey says, I didn't trust him with the fact that I have this secret power. That's why I only told Morgan. And I'll take it to the grave if I have to. She doesn't use it.
Yeah, he likes to have control. And usually with HOHs, even if they don't mean it, they'll say, well, what do you think?
Right.
What do you think of this plan? Or who would you like to put up? Oh, no, he is just telling everybody the way it's going to be.
Well, and that's another way to take the target off your back. If you can get somebody to say it first, then it was their idea.
Right.
You can spin it that way. Now, Rachel and Keanu, this was pretty funny. They're sitting outside. Keanu has not seen Rachel's season. And we know that the number one rule with Rachel is you gotta like Rachel and flatter Rachel. Hi. We've got a little buddy in here. So Keanu, he thinks he is flattering Rachel. He goes, well, I saw some of the clips. I saw some of the highlights from your season.
Yeah, I really felt bad for Keanu because I truly think he was trying his best.
He might not be the brightest crayon in the box. We aren't playing the Mensa game here.
See why Rachel was upset, but Rachel just needs to step back and say, you know what, I really think he was being honest, that he really doesn't know, and that's okay, but you're right.
Well, what he brings up is that the highlights that he saw were Reagan sitting on the weight bench saying the only reason you got in this house is because your boyfriend won the secret door. And Hayden saying that Rachel can't string a sentence together without using the word like. Like, why would you say that, Keanu? Like, why? Yeah, she was not happy. She gets up, storms off. Keanu says, did I say something wrong? And then he goes in there trying to defend himself. And he really doesn't seem to know what is happening. He's just throwing his hands up in there, giving up with Rachel at this point. But she did say something. She says, floaters grab a life vest. He could have said floaters grab a life vest. That's something that normal people would say. So you know what, Mom? She thinks we're normal. She thinks we're normal.
Well, I don't know if that's a compliment or not.
I don't get that compliment often. Thank you, Rachel. We're normal.
Thank
floaters
you,
grab a life vest. So, as we all would expect, Keanu uses the power of veto on himself. And as we all probably should expect, Jimmy plops Amy up on the block because he's a weenie.
Yeah, his moves are just... He even says he wants to do the safe moves.
He has not played
play
a
the
safe game. He is yelling at people, going after people, loud and dramatic, but this is safe? This is stupid.
We also expected Kelley to use her mystery veto power.
Which she does. And then Jimmy goes, I wish there was 1 week where I wouldn't have to expect unexpected, where I could expect the expected. That's this week because you literally have expected this and have the backup plan to put Will up if Amy wins, which Amy has to put together this little veto puzzle. It kind of reminds me of Scooby-Doo. Throws the thing together. Boom. She has to do it in 2 minutes. She's got it. The whole house is watching. Pulls herself up off the block. Now, Big Brother tries to make us feel like, oh, maybe Jimmy won't be a weenie because they show Keanu going into the HOH room saying, look, I'm going to make nice with Jimmy. Let's try to talk some sense into this man. Put Rachel up. She's already won the game. She would be sitting against her ally, Amy. You're going to split up this couple, this power couple that probably have a final 2. And Jimmy's going, oh, yeah, that might make sense. But would he do that?
That would be a big move. He says that would be a big move. Well, it wouldn't be a big move for you, Jimmy. It would be Keanu's move. It's his idea.
Mickey has said, what a waste of a HOH. Rachel has said, what a waste of an HOH. Mickey and Morgan at this point, they're kind of dropping Jimmy out of this triple threat alliance. I think they're glad they got by this week, but if the opportunity presented himself, he's a wild card. I think they would throw him under the bus. I think they would make a big move. Now, I need an Oscar Mayer weenie whistle. I'm going to have to go order one as soon as we are finished here because anytime someone makes a weenie move, we need to blow the weenie whistles.
Well, now, is it too late for Mickey to use her power of the investigation HOH.
HOH.
I'm like you.
It's a hard one. Did it have to be used before the veto?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So I don't know.
I don't remember. We'll have to go back and look. But right now we've got Will and Amy on the block as pawns for Adrian the pawn.
The pawn, yes. We have 3 pawns up.
3 pawns on the block.
That's a history-making move.
Pawns go home. This is why. Now we still have the Big Brother competition. Will said he's going to win it. He's going to get out there and win it for his kids. He might actually take himself off the block. I think Adrian might go home this week. Even if Will didn't take himself off the block, I think Will might have more connections in the house than Adrian. Adrian isn't. Who have we seen him connect with?
No one. And then, the way the editing was at the beginning of the show, he was sitting there crying and saying, Mom, I'm going to get myself off. And that's usually a sign that they're going to go home.
Maybe
but they don't know.
Talking.
Because I don't think they've done the blockbuster yet.
Well, and things can happen right at the last minute. But we're not following any of the spoilers. We're not on Morty's TV. We're not looking on the Twitters or X's or whatever they call them nowadays. So we are unspoiled, and that's where our heads are at right now based on the edit. So we will be back tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, 8:00, we are going to have an eviction. Will it be Amy? I hope not. Will it be Will, or will it be Adrian? I don't think it's going to be Amy. Or will it be none of them? Or is Mickey allowed to use her blockbuster? I don't think she's going to use her power, though, during Jimmy's veto. She already lied to Jimmy, told him that she didn't have a power. Like she said, she might take it to the grave. I think that stays in her back pocket unless she needs to save herself or Morgan. She's not going to use it this week. Who is she going to save? Will, which would be great. But she's got a final 3 with Jimmy right now, too. So I don't know that would be a smart move. It would put a target squarely on her back. Anyway, all right. Well, we'll see you tomorrow for Big Brother, the live elimination, and we will see who wins that blockbuster and who goes home. Thanks, Channel Surfers. If you haven't already, just make sure you like and subscribe. Follow us on Facebook. We're on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube if you want to watch this. We do little shorts and everything on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube as well, just our favorite clips. I've been doing this for about 3 months now, but yeah, we are so happy to have you channel surfers watching Big Brother with us this season. And I did get a text from Liz. Anyone who remembers Liz from way back in the day, she's catching up on Big Brother. So who knows? We might have a secret Liz episode. I told her to get her butt ready for October 1st when Love is Blind comes out. It's like, get ready for the pods, take time off work. You need to be here. Anyway. All right. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye, channel surfers.
Don't delay. Remote